Hello Skynet, YouTube. Today I will be reviewing Terminator 2's Judgment Day, Cyberdyne Systems Model 101 Series T-800 to be more specific, by Neca from 2015. I got this on eBay for $51 plus shipping. After looking around on eBay for a few days, I noticed there's a great shortage of this particular figure in the United States. Overseas there are a lot more of them for a cheaper price, but it's most likely a bootleg. Buyer beware. It is time to open it up. This figure is exactly 7 inches tall. Articulation, leg, upwards, outwards. You can swivel from the upper leg. Swivel the thigh, knee, it's as far as it goes back. You can swivel the knee, swivel the upper boot, swivel the ankle, pivot the ankle, ankle up and down. Waist, left, right, no inner chest joint. Arms, outwards, it's as far as they go. Upwards, elbow, not double jointed. Swivel the elbow, swivel the wrist, and very little hand movement. Heads on a ball joint, right, left, pivot, downwards, and upwards. Before I get ranting on appearance, I want to first talk about which rendition of Arnold this is supposed to be. Judging by the box, we can obviously tell it's from later on in the movie. So we already know that it's not only after the Pescadaro escape from the hospital, but also after Sarah's attempted assassination on Miles Dyson. We can tell this because before they rescued Sarah, Arnold was wearing a black shirt. And also during the rescue, Arnold took a elbow to the face and he lost his sunglasses. At Dyson's house, he revealed his cyborg arm, and from that point on, started to wear the black gloves. Now that we got that out of the way, I can start talking about his appearance, and it is excellent. His head sculpt looks just like Arnold Schwarzenegger. His biker jacket and outfit, this time around, looks dirty in comparison to the Pescadaro escape action figure, which would make sense, because at this point of the movie, he had now spent time in the desert, working on cars, doing weapons detail. Even his boots look scuffed. So that's just an amazing amount of detail there. And his jacket has all the proper zippers, belts, buckles, everything. Bullet holes are still there. They're not just painted on. They actually do go through his jacket. And they got all the wrinkles in his leather pants, zippers on the boots, buckles. Just such an amazing amount of detail. Such a great job.
You two. You're on weapons detail.
Come on, let's go.
Accessories. We'll go over the weapons first. So, just like the Pescadaro escape action figure, you again get the Winchester 1887 shotgun. This time it looks a little darker, if my memory serves me correctly. And luckily this time around, putting on his hand through the gun, it didn't rip off the paint this time either, but it is still a tight fit once again. I am not a fan of weapons in real life, but to be thorough for this review, I did some research to find out what these weapons are actually called, and I've also been watching the special edition of Terminator behind the scenes to figure out the actual names of these weapons and what they really are. So this next weapon here, this is, in some scenes, it's a Colt Series 70, in other scenes, it's a Detonics 1911 hybrid. This is the weapon you see when Arnold has it. He's shooting the kneecaps of the SWAT team. The next accessory we'll go over is the bandolier. It is not Velcro, adjustable, removable, or anything. So the two ways to get it on him is you can either raise his arm up and put it up and over his head, or just simply remove his head sculpt and then put it up and over him like that, and then just pop his head back on. There you go. The grenade launcher, or more specifically the M79 grenade launcher. Very well done. I like the detail, but it looks a little different than the prototype. The prototype, the strap kind of hangs down, but here, due to packaging, it's warped. And this was really hard to get in his hand, to pose him right, to make it look like he's actually shooting it. but eventually you can get it.
I'll take you off the police.
Hey, wait, you swore!
Trust me.
I gotta admit, I wasn't totally digging this figure until I brought out the very last weapon, brought this bad boy out. This is the handheld M134 minigun. Once I got this in his hands and started taking pictures, messing with posability, I was like, yeah, this is pretty badass. This is the ultimate Terminator figure to have. The bag is contoured to his body. The bullets don't feel frail or fragile. It's very flexible. And the gun itself is well painted, a little warped, but it is very detailed and it just looks awesome. Finally, we got 2 extra head sculpts. We got one, this is from Pescadaro Escape. It's the same exact head sculpt, but not as well executed. Underneath his sunglasses, there's a little bit of paint. So it's not perfect, but it'll still do. And finally, we have a head sculpt from, I believe this is from when him and the T-1000 are going at it, and the T-1000's ramming his head in with a steel beam, because his head is really messed up. The SWAT team didn't get him that bad. But there's one detail in here that is not in the movie. The very back of his head. That is not in the movie. So why did they do that? I know the movie very well. I've seen it hundreds of times. It's my second favorite movie of all time. And that's not in there. But you look close enough, you can see the access port. So that's actually kind of cool that they went that far onto his scalp for that. My only other complaint about this head sculpt, though, is I wish they would have used a brighter color of red on his eye to make it look like it's glowing. But other than that, it'll do. It'll pass. I have been loving what Neca has been coming out with lately. But the problem with this figure is it tries to be an all-in-one Arnold figure, which doesn't quite work because of the dirty outfit and different colored shirts. It would be best to have 2 separate figures instead. For that reason, I will admit that I miss having the Pescadaro Escape action figure, and I'd love to buy it back, but it did tremendously go up in price, just as I anticipated in my original review. Until I can buy back the Pescadaro Escape action figure, that wraps up my review. Please stay tuned for pictures galore, subscribe, like, and comment. If you do not subscribe, it does not help my mission. Be sure to check back next week, as I'll be reviewing the Sarah Connor and John Connor 2-pack. That wraps up my review. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. I'll be back.